Hi, this is Deacon Larry, and this is Renewed. Over the next few weeks in Renewed, and perhaps over the months beyond that, we'd like to introduce you to some of the folks who have been in this journey with us here at St. Theresa. What we know in their life story is everyone will tell you in some way. This is about how I have been renewed.
My name is Doug Copeland. Just recently joined the Catholic Church as of Easter here at St. Theresa, actually. I have lived in Houston for about a little over 4 or 5 years now. Met my wife here, been married for a little over a year. She played a pretty big part in my joining of the church too, but of course so did all of her friends and a lot of good people we know here actually at St. Theresa. So I started dating somebody that was actually not that far from me, and she's told me, hey, you want to come to Mass with me one Sunday morning? And of course, early in dating, I was like, sure, I'll be there. But that started it all. I mean, I think the first time I came to St. Theresa, it was actually in its gym. That was the first time, my first experience with St. Theresa was going to the gym for Mass during the renovations. But yeah, it just stuck out to me. We just kept coming back around, especially while we lived over here, but now even as we've moved away, keep coming back over here when we can. It's definitely been a journey, that's for sure. I was raised Southern Baptist, going to church on every Sunday and going to church on Wednesday nights. Very close at a younger age. My relationship to God was very personal. A lot of reflective prayer, just me, didn't do any group prayers really. I would only read to myself, didn't really like praying out loud to anybody, but it was a very personal relationship to God. And then through several life chapters, ended up not going to church anymore for a long time, many years. Never questioning or lacking faith. There was never a day that I said, I don't believe in you, God. I just put him out of mind for some reason for a really long time. Focused on myself, said I was doing everything else myself and all my success was my own. So spent a while doing that, hit my head a few times if you can imagine. And fortunately, after a few other life chapters, started getting back into prayer and turning back to God. Lo and behold, not long after that, my wife shows up somewhere in my life. So, I mean, there's been a lot, and she's been a big factor in that too. Made me ask a lot more questions about the Catholic Church, the Catholic faith, but never pushed it on me. That was also really helpful. She never pushed any of it on me. Not to say she didn't have friends that did. She had some very eager friends, but it was good still getting pushed into that network kind of, and prompting back a faith in me that I had, but also giving me new tools and educating me on how I can be closer to God that way. As soon as I started questioning if I was going to be able to necessarily align with everything with the church that the church believes and that we profess, then I was just gonna not go. I didn't want to waste my time or their time in trying to, educate us and all that. So yeah, there was definitely that moment, but fortunately it was early on. Later on, things kind of only got more solidified. I did spend a brief moment there I think it was in the last 2 or 3 weeks, where they were asking and checking in on us and how we were doing, and everybody was like, it was great, it was a great class, everything's going great so far. And then it got to me and I said, it's going fine, I just don't feel Catholic. And it kind of like made him pause for a second, but then I believe it was Deacon Larry that night, he said, well, great, good. That means we've got more to talk about. He was excited by it. He always got excited by the challenge, but yeah, certainly questions of if I would finish. Fortunately, I got past them. I had been told and warned that towards the end of RCIA courses for a lot of folks, they tend to start feeling distracted, or different thoughts start to try to stray them away of sort of an attack, if you would, on them, trying to go through with this process. And so I was kind of worried about that happening. But fortunately, I think the only speed bumps that I hit in RCIA were early on. And so then those last few days actually leading up to the initiation, it's kind of like just knowing a good thing was coming. I hadn't partaken in the body and blood of Christ since I was like a teenager, or actually probably young adult. So it was a lot of missing, yearning, anticipation, but also like a peace of mind. Just kind of going through the motion as the day got closer, and it was really smooth. It was great. There's a lot going on, and there's so many things that if you really got hung up on it, you could probably stress yourself out to the point of not being able to function if you really wanted to line out everything in the world that's worth worrying about right now. With God and faith, I can at least tell myself starting every day, it doesn't matter what happens today, I know it will be okay in the end. And that's helped me through some really hard times, and it's helping me through some really great times right now, because I know it won't always be that way, but I feel prepared for it either way. The advice I could give you for anybody that experienced a similar journey to me or was in a similar stage in their relationship to God as me, then I would say don't let a lack of faith discourage you from wanting to learn more or feeling like a good Christian or a good Catholic, because there's a lot of things that I still know that I lack faith in, and I wish I didn't, but I've let it hold me back sometimes. I've let it just allow me to say, well, I'm just not that good of a Christian then, I guess. I'm not as good of a soul as I thought I was, but that's not the case. I think we all go through days where we question things or have certain subjects that are hard on us. But don't let that lack of faith make you want to learn more, and don't let it discourage you from praying about it. That discernment and being able to ask and for just a little bit of guidance on it can help a lot. And you don't have to come to that correct answer. You don't have to pray about it and then all of a sudden feel like, oh, my faith is restored. Just don't let it discourage you. There's a lot of room for growing in faith, probably for the rest of our lives. A big thing I've noticed, and this is, again, a characteristic of St. Theresa that I've noticed compared to other parishes, but the Catholic Church in general and other Catholics that I've met, it's so welcoming. And anybody that knows good habits knows that a network of people around you supporting those habits and helping you grow in those habits is critical. And having a welcoming parish that is so eager to have you here, or even in the Catholic Church, several people eager to have you in the Catholic Church, it's a huge support group for that. There's been, the network of people that I've met has been remarkable. So that family, being able to be part of that solidarity has the biggest impact to me. And I would say, you know what, if you're a Christian and you feel like you lack support from your friends, give Catholicism a try.
Please like, subscribe, or comment below.